Hi everyone, it's Yvette here, your down-to-earth Aussie V blogger from the Spark It Girl blog. I'm really excited today. We've got one of our special guests who is Avril Carpenter, and she's a weight loss expert. And so excited to speak to her and ask her a couple of questions so that we can all learn more about weight loss and how to ignite our inner sparkle. So Avril helps and teaches people, women especially, how to be powerful and to have lasting changes through hypnotherapy and working through the unconscious mind. So, Avril, thank you so much for catching up with me. I'm really excited because this is one of the big questions, not only for myself, but I think everyone can resonate with it. And just wanted to ask you, first of all, how did you get into this, weight loss, hypnotherapy, and, specializing in being a weight loss expert?
Awesome. Well, first of all, hello, Yvette. So nice to see you.
Yay! Hello.
Thank you very, very much for inviting me here. I'm super excited to be here. Now, the way I got into hypnotherapy and weight loss hypnotherapy specifically was really, it all started with a conversation. And that was a conversation that I had many times with myself, and it's a conversation that you and maybe your viewers can relate to. And it was a conversation I had every single Sunday night where I would promise myself that this is enough. I've had it. This week, Monday, I'm going to start a diet. I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to lose this weight. And on that Sunday night, I would be so full of willpower and commitment, and I would be positively bursting with motivation. But sadly, we all know how this journey finishes. The Sunday night conversation usually finishes about Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday at the outside, when I would find myself on the sofa desperately craving all those blacklisted foods and struggling with the deprivation and beating myself up and wondering where on earth all that willpower and commitment and motivation that was so abundant on Sunday night had sugared off to. And I think it's something that a lot of women can relate to. I would start Monday morning depriving myself, and I'd be counting calories and counting points, and I did a lot of self-loathing where I had this belief that if I hated my body enough that hopefully it would eventually change shape. And I was bulimic at the time, and I was also an extreme exerciser. So I would think nothing of running 100 kilometres per week.
Wow.
So I was doing a lot of extreme measures, and still I was unhappy with my body. And it was only when I stopped dieting, I finally stopped dieting, and I put down that beating up stick, and I started looking at what was going on in my head. I started exploring all that emotional debris and all those garbage thoughts. And it was only then that I was able to completely ditch that Sunday night conversation. And now I'm in a very different space. I feel like I have the best job in the world, where I have retrained as a hypnotherapist and I have left the corporate arena. And it is my very great privilege to be able to help other women ditch their Sunday night conversation as well.
Wow, that's just amazing. Now I'm going to jump straight in, and it's a big question, but I'm really curious to ask you, as a weight loss expert, what's your number one advice for, optimal health or great health? Like, what could you, give to our readers and everyone around the world?
Oh, juicy question. Pick one. I think my number one bit of advice, if I could give one bit of advice to people around the world who wanted to get a better handle on their health and their well-being, would be to learn to breathe well. And I know that sounds very, very low tech, and it almost sounds a bit new agey. But the fact is, our breath is incredibly powerful. And one of the reasons it is so important is that nothing communicates to our body more swiftly than our breath that we are safe. And in order to put this in context, we need to go back to caveman days when we were sharing the savannah with saber-tooth tigers. And they were a very, very real physical danger for us. Okay? Fast forward to now, and okay, we don't have the physical danger of the saber-tooth tiger, but we have a modern day equivalent. We have numerous modern day equivalents. And what I mean by that is we have this cultural ADHD where we are all working very long hours. We are hyper stressed. We are juggling an enormous number of commitments, and there's a lot of negativity around. You just need to look on the news, and it's usually pretty negative. And
definitely,
I think most people do feel on some level like they are behind the eight ball, and they do feel stressed. So even though we no longer have the physical fear of the saber-tooth tiger, we have got psychological fears these days. And the kicker is, and this is what I find so amazing, is the unconscious mind that doesn't register a difference between a real fear and a psychological fear. So every time we feel afraid because we're going to be a couple of minutes late from picking up our child from kindergarten, our body floods with adrenaline and cortisol. It responds exactly as if it was a real physical threat, even though it's only a psychological threat. And the fact is that any time we have adrenaline and cortisol in our body, we find it really hard to lose weight. Yeah.
That just
That's
sums
the
it
truth
up.
of it.
Yeah. Oh my
And the beautiful thing is that because we breathe up to 5,000 times per day, we actually have enormous capacity to influence how our body feels and to lead our body back to calm, back to that safe place, just through our breath. So I teach clients to make appointments with themselves to, for example, what I do is every time I look at my watch, I take a couple of deep breaths. Every time I hear a telephone ring, I take a couple of deep breaths. Every time I'm sitting waiting at a red light, I take deep breaths. So it's really easy to bring in the power of our breath so that we lower those adrenaline and cortisol levels.
Wow. Wow, that's just amazing. And the next question I've got, I know like you're dealing with everyone and, you know, like your clients and inside people's heads. But what sort of nutritional advice, you know, for your mind or what sort of food advice do you like give or can you give us?
It's such a valid question. It's true that I do work with the mental and the emotional stumbling blocks around weight loss. I find so many of my clients are really confused by nutrition, and it is totally understandable because we've all read a magazine where we'll look at an article and it will talk about how you have to eat 100% plant-based vegan diet 3 times a day in order to be healthy. And then often you can read in exactly the same magazine another article that says unless you eat lamb and beef and chicken and fish, then you're going to be unhealthy. And it's true. It's really complicated. You know, do you listen to Mr. Vegan or do you listen to Mrs. Carnivore? So this is why a lot of people are confused. I like to keep it really simple. I like to come back to number one, the notion of if your nana wouldn't recognise it, eat less of it. So that really means keep your food real, keep it natural, keep it whole foods, keep it fresh from the veggie patch. That's an amazing way to live. The second bit of nutritional advice I give my clients is really around learning to ask your body what it wants. So literally actually asking your body several times a day, what is it that I want? What does my body need? And actually waiting and listening for the answer and trusting the wisdom, the innate wisdom that our miraculous bodies do have.
Wow. And I'm a big fan of your blog, and you talk a lot on your blog about small daily habits and change, or rituals as you call them. But what are some of the things that you do? Like, you spend a lot of time being a light worker, or I call you a miracle worker, but basically helping to heal people and improve their lives, every single day, which then magnifies to not only them, but their whole family and friends and the community and the society and the world universe. But what do you do? Like, what are some of your personal rituals, daily rituals that you do as a weight loss expert?
Let me see. I have a lot of rituals. I have a lot of rituals. Let me see. Two of my favourite rituals, though. Two of my favourite rituals would be the daily juice, the fresh daily, starting the day off with a glass of juice. And I love looking at it and just seeing this glass of juice full of vitamins and minerals, and just knowing there is so much nourishment and love in that glass for your body and your soul. So it's easy. It's a no-brainer. I think everyone should be juicing. Second would be moving my body. I love to move my body. I think our bodies are designed to move. They are never happier than after exercise. And even though the way I exercise has changed dramatically during my lifetime, I used to exercise from a space of working it off. I would run to work off the Mars bar, whereas now I come from a very, very different intention, and that is that I love my body loves to move, so why wouldn't I go for a beautiful walk with my fabulous dog and get out there in the forest and go for a stroll?
Oh, that's just amazing. And I just really, really want to thank you, for just sharing your words of wisdom. Like, I know you've got a book out and you've got a great website with an amazing blog that even when I read it, I just wanted to, I literally did put my shoes on and want to go for a walk. And you've got a massive Twitter following of beautiful, inspiring, happy and kind people that love your constant positivity tweets, and you're just doing amazing things, helping people, women especially, with their weight loss. And so you are an absolute treasure and such a beautiful miracle light worker, and through your journey just helping so many. So I just wanted to let everyone know, if you want to find out more, or basically even after this vlog, if you want to contact Avril Carpenter, you can go to her website, avrilcarpenter.com, and I'll actually leave the details down below. And then if you've got any comments or further comments you want to ask her, put that in the comments box as well, because I really think we'll be wanting to ask you even more questions. So if anyone's got questions, put them in. And really thank you so much for your time and your words of wisdom. And I know I've taken away so much just from this catch up and YouTube vlog. And I'm going to definitely breathe, listen to myself, move, be kind to myself, love myself, and just take away, everything that you've shared with us this evening. So thank you so much, Avril. And
thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. It's been so lovely to meet you and have you here. So thank you so much. Take care.
Beautiful.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye bye.